Hello again, this is Old Man PHP. I create PHP video tutorials for the old guys who want to learn a new skill and compete with the young crowd. This is video number 19. I want to say one thing though. Last video I mentioned that it was video 17 and it was really video 18, just in case you caught that. Excuse me. We already talked about how you can check what version of PHP you are using, right? Remember that? You get information about the PHP's configuration, the current state of PHP. It is very simple. Remember, I did something like this. It was PHP info. Let's save it, run it. See how I give you the version numbers and all these little things. So let me show you how to detect a user web browser. The browser that someone is using when they open up your website. If you can add this stuff to your own website and you can find out what browsers your clients are using. So there, we have a built-in function. It's actually a super global. It is called $. Let me write this down right here. It's called $server, like this. That's what it's called. They are built-in variables and that are always available in all scopes. Remember, variables within the local scope of a function or outside, meaning the outside scope. It is an array that contains information such as headers, paths, and script locations. So when I say that it is a super global, I mean that they are always accessible regardless of scope. So let's take a moment to talk about a scope of a variable. Scope is the part of the script where the variables can be referenced and used. All PHP variables only have single scopes. You can access them from any function, class, file without having to do anything special. It is a good feature. Lots of languages have scope. You will learn how scope works as we go. So let's continue with the super globals. Here are the variables that are considered super globals, and we are using right now, what I'm going to show you is what I just showed you, the $_server variable. Before we do that though, I want to discuss I want to discuss something called globals and global keyword, which, let me write this down for you. It will be something like this: globals, and of course, oh man, and global. So the dollar globals, this one, the dollar globals is used to access global variables from anywhere throughout the whole PHP script. The PHP language stores all global variables in an array and is called index. I guess it will be called, because it's an array like this. But instead of using stuff like 0, 1, 2, it'll be something more like this. Those kind of things. You can say var1, you can say var2, you can say var2, whatever it is that you're creating, that you're going to make into a super global. All right, so let's do a little test here so you can understand better. By the way, this video is going to be a short one, okay? Because I know you're busy and you want to do your things. So let's do this $b equals to 25. Then we're going to create a function, and we're going to call it add num, because we're going to add two numbers together. This goes your curly brace for block. That will be your commands. Okay, we're going to say, let's put this. Globals, and we're gonna add the assign other globals. Let's do this dollar. Okay. And you'll semicolon. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a global variable, right? We're going to call it, I don't know, AB. Oops. AB, because I'm using A and B. And we're going to call this first one. We're going to say A. Then we're going to say B. Now you're wondering, well, if you're going to be using this stuff, how come you don't have that dollar sign? Dollar sign just tells the interpreter that this is a variable. That's all it is. So you really don't need to use it here. Plus you will get an error, right? So if you're going to reference the A and the B, this is how you put it. A and B, just like that. So if we run it, let's move this up a bit. Add num. That this is already using this. You know something? Let me show you. Oh yeah, let's try this. Let's try this. Okay, let's take the. Let's try that, and then let's echo it. So let's say echo, because remember you already. Okay. I'm gonna say SAB. Remember the one you just created? I mean, assigned to but created. See, you ran this, so it created this for you, right? That's what this is. It invoked it to do this. And this is going to read this. This A will be 75. This will be 25. It's going to be added together to make 100, and this will be the actual. Boom, 100. See, if I kind of did this, comment it out, then you get two errors because it says, hey, wait a minute, I don't know what this A and B is. What's going on? You know what I mean? That's wonderful, right? It's good stuff, man. There's also a way of checking it without doing this. I guess I can do it, keep it right here. Let's do a line break. Semicolon, remember, maybe you can say echo dollar $AB. See? Because it created this as a variable, and it's global, but you can check it out by putting a dollar sign. It's crazy stuff. So if you go like this, boom, you know, 100 from this guy, 100 from this guy. Now the global keyword. The global keyword imports variables from outside of the function. Variables within the function is a local scope within that function. So the global keyword makes a variable a global variable and can be accessed from inside or even outside of the function. So let's create a short script. I guess we'll let's change this to X, right? I'm gonna give it 5. Function add $y. And we're gonna do, that's a variable that we're gonna pass on. We haven't assigned anything to it yet. So we're gonna say global, like that. Then we're gonna say $x. Then we're gonna return the results, right? $x plus $y. Boom. Now we're gonna invoke it by, we're gonna use the echo, because you know you can invoke it within an expression, right? So we could say $x plus 5 equals, no space there. And then we're going to run it. Then we're going to send in the number 5, or any number. That's right. So what happens is now, okay, let me make this work. There you go. 5 plus 5 equals 10. 5 plus 5 equals 10. Now the reason why you can see what's in this 5 here is because we put the variable within the double quotes. Remember I showed you that? If this would have been like a single quote like this, great. Oh boy. Then you see this, see? Because it didn't expand it. It did interpret that thing. So to do that, to interpret an array within quote in a sentence or something, make sure you put it in quotes, double quotes. Now remember, this thing is usually, listen, if I took this out, right, and I go like this, it's going to give me an error. This is from because they called this. This give me an error because it doesn't know what the X is. So it's going to be 5. Get it? 5, 5, 5, 5. It didn't know what to do with it because it's here. But if I took this and put it in here, it says 10. Get it? Because it already knows. So, but if you use global, that means you can use it in anywhere. That means you can go outside of it and get it. See how cool both are? It makes things easy. Now, here are the other super globals. We're only going to talk about, like I mentioned, the $_server for now. But here's the rest of it. So let me take this all out. And I'm just going to type it in so you can see. Let me put this in caps. We're going to do requests. We're going to do this. We're going to hit upon these guys in the other video coming up. We're going to continue in part 2 of this video. So we got the requests, right? And then we got $posts, because that's when you get forms. $get. Then you got $files, when you upload files. What happened here? Get. Right? You're going to use these two for forms, even these. So, even this one. So, what happens is you got also the environment. You want to check out the environment, right? Then you have cookie. I don't use cookies because I use session is better. Cookies works on the front end. Session works on the back end, on the server side. Now, to read what a user is using for a browser, remember I mentioned that? We will use I'm going to use the HTTP underscore user underscore agent. And let me show you how it's done. We're going to do echo your browser is, let's put a space there, keep that there, do this, and just say $_server, and then we're going to say, you know what I forgot, I always, let's put the semicolon, make this smaller, I like to keep uniform, and we're going to use HTTP underscore user underscore agent. Which reminds me, I gotta change something. There you go. The browser is this. See? Pretty good, right? So when you can add these kind of things into your program, and when somebody logs in, they can read that, and then you can adjust your programming in your front end stuff to equate for the browsers that they have. So instead of if somebody has IE, you can check for IE, because you know IE, a lot of things don't work, so you have to kind of finagle, do little things to make things work. You gotta do your own little hacks, so they call that a hack. So what do you think? Pretty good, right? Let's go on with another super global, right? So we want to return the type of browser it uses. We're done. If you know something, I'm going ahead of myself. I'm going to show you that on the other one. So we're going to keep going to self, PHP self. So what we could do is you saw this already, $_server, semicolon, and we're going to call this PHP underscore self. And this will give me, all right, see, because this is what this is called. This file that I'm using is this. We could return the name of the host server, right? So we could say, you know something, man, let's do this. Sign this whole thing right here. And we're going to call this server name. Let's see. Server name. Did I spell that right? Server name. Yes. Yes, indeed. Here's your server name, right? Localhost, server name. Then you want to return the header from the current request. So we can kind of do, I'm going to write this whole thing again. I'm going to put it in here. We're going to say HTTP underscore host. Let's write that down. Boom, there it goes. There's your host. Server name with the host. And then you have, remember we're using localhost. And I'm using port 8080. And then we could return the full URL of my current page. So let's do this. What do we call this? Request and underscore URI. Boom. See, that would be the, you know, the actual host with the slash. See, that's the whole thing. So then you can kind of let's see, did we use I thought, let's do the actual script name. Let's say script underscore name. It's going to be the same thing anyway. So different things, you know, you can do a lot of different things. Now to send a non-empty value of the script that was, you know, queried through the HTTPS protocol, which if this would have been an S here, then that means that protocol would have been turned on. But right now it's not, right? So we can kind of do this. Let me show you something. I'm going to erase this. Let me see. I'm going to, let's do, what should we write here? Let's say $hold, and you want $_server, and you want to put, if it's an HTML, what happened here? HTTP, it's got to be caps. Some take caps, some don't. So we go like this. We're going to get an error. See? Because it doesn't understand this S. So if you want to actually check, right, you can even dump this thing. You can say var dump, semicolon. Let's put in this variable. It tells you it's a null. See? Isn't it weird? Tells you there's a null. So let me see if it gives me a 1. No, still does it. Doesn't like none of this command to do this thing. But that's okay, because we're gonna, there's other ways of checking. What do we do here? Let's do this. Let's say if it's not empty. How about that? Let's do this. Let's do HTTP. How many? Let's put a space up. Let's put a space right here. Let's see. We got this one. This belongs to that one. Okay. Let's do the. Let's echo HTTPS. There's other ways, but this is just a simple way. Disable. Then you're gonna bring your if else, right? Do not understand why my computer's acting. I think it's gonna need an overhaul, man. Unbelievable. So we're gonna say HTTP is inact D. So we go like this. Take this out. See, it says enable because I'm actually using HTTPS. If it wasn't enabled, let's say that it's empty. This is not empty, it's going to tell me what this is, but I'm going to add an S, right? If it's empty, it tells you that it's disabled. Strange stuff. But it'll get better because on my next video, we're going to give you more advanced server stuff and more. All the other ones too. That's going to be long. So we reached the end, and if you enjoy this video and you learn about super globals, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. This will help grow my channel. On the next video, I will talk more about the advanced PHP dollar server, and that will be my part 2. So until next time, a good night.